Recording a poem is like. You get to spend an hour listening to the same 2 minutes over and over until finally you get to the third minute. Here's hoping we get to the third minute here, kids.
Okay, Poetry Dog. Sometimes I feel like I have murdered all of my poetry, bricked and bagged every word and thrown into a cold December water from the edge of the Tallahatchie Bridge. Every brain cell that ever held any word, any life, any really good slam has been burned and melted away. Like my favorite candle smell I can't find anywhere anymore. The one that smelled like apple pie but not a cheap rendition. It was real apple pie baking in a glass pan, but poetry has become such an enemy of mine. I curse it. I eye roll. I blah, blah, blah. Even when I might be feeling it for a millisecond. One of my best poems was written after a tongue full of vodka. I birthed it on my phone, and I played it out like a cinematic miracle shown on the biggest and brightest of screens where audiences sat in crimson red velvet chairs, drank dark beer, and ate popcorn popped from a 30-year-old machine. But now, my poetry floats in the back of my mouth with water and Diet Mountain Dew. It gets blown out with every whisper and whine. I only say to myself, it burns itself into the bark of trees on other planets, in another universe, in another fucking dimension, and I wonder, what happened? Am I sold out? Are we played out? Have my words all fallen to the meh side? Am I just another girl who had her peak 10 years ago, and then maybe again a year ago, and then maybe again a few months ago, and now it's nothing worth more than the old pennies in my pink change purse? Perhaps. Perhaps my words have been molded into long work days and rent and dead desert roses on my porch, and maybe I forgot to cover them one night during a freeze and they turned brown and wilted away from me. Maybe I forgot to feed them a few nights or clean their water bowl out. Maybe my words are dying somewhere on a countryside road where I left them after that one fight when I swore them off forever, called them the worst of names, and dead to me. They were never born to me. I might have said that because I have said that in my head plenty of times, and maybe this is my karma for my burning of bridges and too many cigarettes in my 20s. Maybe they got fed up, and maybe they packed their stuff one day while I was at work and left without even leaving a note or looking me in the eye, because I never look my words in the eye. For too long, anyway. The only thing ever to get anything more than an eye glance from me is a dog. And maybe I am just a dog. Maybe I have done my words wrong, and I have been idle and lazy and haven't really cared enough to make an animal out of adjectives. Maybe it's all my fault and I should apologize for my wrongdoings, because I have never been the best with words unless they come from a pen or the tap of mad fingers, and maybe I should ask for a second chance. A do-over. Maybe I should buy them a ring with my birthstone because they were born when I was, even though I didn't write my first poem until I was 6, and my real first poem until I was 11, they were all still born in May, and maybe I should write them vows that promise to keep them close to my blood and lungs until I lose my last breath. Maybe I should spoon them and wrap my fingers between B's and A's and N's and J's and just say, I'm goddamn sorry for being a bitch, for letting the most important thing I've ever loved, and the only thing that has ever really loved me back that much, so much that I cry and laugh and punch with everything I have inside me. Or maybe I should just look it in the eye, apologize for my shortcomings, and write a fucking poem. Da-da-da-da. Maybe. Shit! Okay, this is a poem I wrote last night when I couldn't go to sleep. It's called Poetry Dog. Get back out of my place!
I've already started it.
Well, I want to see what I looked like.